What's going on, everyone? Let's talk about Brazilian depository receipts real quick. So there seems to be a lot of confusion going on around the BDRs, talk of naked shorting, talk of, the whole float being over in Brazil needing to be covered. That's not the case, and I'm going to break this down for you real quick. So what's all this talk about BDRs? Well, first of all, what is a BDR? It's a Brazilian depository receipt. Now, Brazilian depository receipts are certificates representing shares of foreign companies traded in Brazil. A BDR program is the ideal instrument for foreign companies to establish a presence in the most dynamic capital market in Latin America. The listing in Brazil increases the visibility of the company and contributes to paving the way for future public offerings, acquisitions, and consolidation of business growth, in some cases. Now, what are the benefits of launching a BDR? Well, foreign companies electing to access the international market by listing a BDR program benefit from widening and diversifying their shareholder base, enhancing their visibility with investors, consumers, and international customers, and attracting new investors, enhancing the overall liquidity of their shares, widening analyst coverage to a country other than that of their original local base, additional funding alternative, your stocks trading alongside the stocks of peer international companies, price parity with global peers through international recognized reporting and disclosure requirements, improved international valuation through an equal footing with peer companies, and an alternative currency for mergers and acquisitions. Wait, is this illegal? If so, who governs these BDRs? Well, it's not the SEC, it's not the CFTC, it's the CVM. It says right here, the BDRs are governed by CVM Instruction 332, by CVM Instruction 480, by the B3 Issuer Regulation and Manual, in addition to other applicable legal provisions and regulations. All the SEC does is simply allow this to happen. Now, there's 4 different types of levels. There's a unsponsored level 1, a sponsored level 1, sponsored level 2, and a sponsored level 3. So the difference between these, the unsponsored level 1 is the only one where the issuer, being AMC, the parent company, has no involvement. So we're likely looking at a level 1 BDR sponsor or unsponsored BDR from AMC. And by the way, the only investors that are permitted are qualified institutional investors. Sponsored level 2 and 3, any and all investors can participate. So let's break down the levels real quick. So level 1 unsponsored BDR can be launched without the support of the underlying company, and the securities are traded on BM and FBOV ESPA. The depository institutions that issue level 1 BDRs are responsible for disclosing information to the market. Although the program is registered with the CVM, the foreign issuers of shares represented by level 1 unsponsored BDRs are not required to register the company with the CVM. Proceeds cannot be raised in Brazil through an issuance of securities. Only qualified investors, as defined, are permitted to trade unsponsored level 1 BDRs. Likely what we're seeing with AMC. Sponsored programs in the level 1 sponsored BDR are launched with the full and active support of the underlying company and are admitted for trading on BM and FBOV ESPA. Although the program is CVM registered, the foreign issuers of shares represented by level 1 sponsored BDRs are not required to register the company with the CVM. The company is required to disclose in Brazil the same information which is obliged to disclose in its home country. Only qualified investors are permitted to trade sponsored level 1 BDRs. No new proceeds can be raised in Brazil through an issuance of securities. Now, since we know from AMC that they did not have the approval to do this, that basically makes it to where it has to be level 1 unsponsored. Let's go ahead and take a look at the others. Level 2 sponsored, these are admitted for trading on BM and FBOV ESPA and can be bought and sold by any investor. Level 2 programs must be registered with the CVM, and the underlying company is required to follow Brazilian listed company disclosure rules and regulations. No new proceeds can be raised from an issuance of securities. Level 3 sponsored BDRs, these are admitted for trading on BM and FBOV ESPA and can be bought and sold by any investor. The company must be CVM registered, and the programs are registered with the CVM when securities are issued simultaneously in Brazil and abroad in accordance with Brazilian law applicable to securities offerings. Proceeds can be raised in Brazil through an issuance of securities. So based on all that, it's likely we're seeing a level 1 unsponsored just based on the information surrounding it. Now, again, There's no issuer involvement according to AMC. There's not going to be any public offering. CVM registration is not required. The trading market should be BM and FBOV ESPA, only qualified investors, and then the GAAP and the country of origin is the financial reporting standards. So what does this mean for AMC? Honestly, not much. Citigroup is the custodian bank, so they're likely creating a market for BDRs with their shares that they hold to trade in, and likely just some place for the institutional investors to have another venue for trading. And again, to reiterate some reasoning why you would launch a BDR program, this is the normal reasons here. For Citigroup, obviously they want to diversify their risk. They want to improve their liquidity, and they want to improve their currency exposures for swaps, things like that. That's likely what's going on. Not regulated by the SEC or CFTC, but is allowed. Does not have to be covered, as many are assuming. Does not confirm naked shorts whatsoever. Does that mean naked shorts don't exist for AMC? Absolutely not. But this is unrelated to naked shorts. There's not 513 million shares sitting over there that are short having to be covered. It's simply a BDR program to create a few benefits for the institutions and Citigroup being the custodian of the shares. That is all. Hopefully that cleared things up, and you guys have a good day. Jacked for tomorrow.